Check out my Patreon for many mods collection and load order services. Learn more in description or in the pinned comment. Welcome back inside the Hidden Hotbox Gamer. I'm Chris, and this is Skyrim Snow Load Order for Xbox Series X, S and Xbox One. In this video we will look at many graphic mods and also at some mods that I really wanted to try out before the new version of the Ultimate Skyrim Load Order. With 50 mods, this project overhauls Skyrim to always be in winter, which is perfect to escape the heat that is already striking during this period of 2022, or as a thematic load order when will actually be winter. Oh, and also if you want, you can skip just a few mods, and instead of it being a snow overhaul, this load order can be a graphical overhaul with some extras on the side. All the mods are linked in description or in the pinned comment in the correct load order. Let's begin! After the usual unofficial Skyrim Special Edition patch USSEP XB1 that we're installing to fix many bugs of Skyrim Anniversary or Special Edition on Xbox, for this load order we have another master file, which is the mod Climates of Tamriel for Xbox One. Climates of Tamriel is an award-winning weather mod that goes way back to 2016-17, and it's the first time that I ever showed it here on the channel, which is crazy because as you can see it makes a wonderful job at improving and expanding the weathers available in Skyrim. In fact, I think it's a great alternative to cathedral weathers. As we will learn later in the video, the climate is also altered by another mod to make Skyrim fit the snow theme we are going for. So in the meantime, let's take a look at other mods like Skyrim Main Menu Replacer, which is the only UI mod for this Xbox load order and replaces the screen that precedes the actual main menu. Moving instead on the craftable items, there are 3 mods. Craft Everything XB1 gives you the possibility to craft any clothes, weapons and items excluding the unique items. Cloaks Capes XB1 is the usual Xbox mod that we use to craft cloaks and capes at tanning racks, which given their graphical details it is perfect for this project. And finally, Northborn Fur Hoods X1 allows you to craft hoods at forges. They come in brown, white or black, but before that you need to craft the materials needed at a tanning rack. Moving again to a new section of the Skyrim mods load order, for the gameplay we have Bulkhead's mountain climbing, to improve the collision of many mountains and prevent you from getting stuck between certain big rocks, while also aiding you into climbing said mountains. After this, I needed to install Summer Mist Enchantments of Skyrim XB1 for the magic section, as it's mandatory for a mod never featured before on the channel to add graphical effects on enchanted weapons similarly to how VAE does it. Anyway, thanks to Summer Mist you will have access to about 200 new enchantments for any item that can be enchanted in Skyrim, many of which are very creative. Let's try to speed up the talks now that we are exploring the music and audio section. Chapter 2 Jeremy Soule-inspired music by Drama Music expands Skyrim's soundtrack with many themes inspired by the originals. And thanks to Sounds of Skyrim Complete Edition XB1, all the sound effects will be improved or replaced. The weather mods are self-explanatory, so let's just list them. Improved shadows and volumetric lighting, Draco's Fantasy Auroras, IA Identity's Realistic Rain Xbox One, Ultra-realistic snowflakes. To better express the snowy winter theme, I decided to go ahead and remove as much grass as possible. To do that I installed both Less Grass 120 version, followed by Remove Grass. The reason for them to be installed at the same time is because they use different methods to remove grass, and they found it best to install both for an optimal result. Just know that some selected type of grass will still show up, which also makes sense, but in some very rare occasions their shadows may behave in a weird way. If you really cannot stand that, you can install just Less Grass 120 and skip Remove Grass, but there will be a little more grass of course. For textures and meshes of skin, we are improving most of Skyrim's animals and creatures thanks to Divine Textures Creator Spec 1, Enhanced Skyrim Dragons SE 1K, and Fluffworks Fluffy Animals Quality 2K, which with the latest version adds fur to many more animals, probably every single animal with which it would make sense. EAD Every Attack Different is a set of animations for the one-handed and two-handed weapons. Note that this doesn't work with dual-wielded weapons. After this, let's revamp Skyrim's effects on Xbox with the mods Magical Forces and Effects Bundle Full, Enhanced Blood Textures, and Reprisal Vanilla and Summer Mist Enchant FX, which as you may have guessed is that mod that I mentioned earlier that works similar to VAE and requires a Summer Mist. And now it's time for a big list of meshes and textures related to items, buildings, nature and anything that isn't a living creature for the most part. Friendly SMIM, Mesh Fixes Collection, Lucid AP's High Poly Project Vify.x, High Poly Project Fixes by Xtudo, Major Cities Mesh Overhaul, Water in Wash Basins and Wells, better ropes for Skyrim SE by X-Ray, pretty animated potions, small bottles, vanilla, 4K stars and galaxies, graphics specs to remaster most of the game's textures, Skyland architecture AIO for all the cities, which I picked just because I prefer it to graphics spec, meaning that you can skip it if you want, Majestic Mountains north side for the mountains LOD, Glacier Slab Bumpy Sizzled 4K, Ice Flows 2K, Fluffy Snow for the snow's texture. Also needed to get the best results with the next mod called Better Dynamic Snow by Sparrow Prince and Tech Angel 85. Enhanced trees for Skyrim, optional improvement for trees and the snow placed over them. Transparent and refracting icicle and frost atronach. Simply realistic armors and weapons 1K, for the armors to remaster them along with the weapons while remaining close to the source material. Kartoffel quality cube maps to improve anything that shines or has some sort of reflection. And Ice Cave parallax improved to have a better ice effect in ice caves. Let's conclude this load order for Skyrim Anniversary Edition with the last sections. For the water I installed both Glassy Water 4K, a realistic water mod, and IA92's Epic Crystal Water Xbox One. In this way, the usual high quality water offered by Glassy Water will have much more realistic transparency. After the water section, we have Xbox realistic wildlife behaviors for the NPC AI, so that animals that exist in the real world don't behave like blood-hungry monsters. And in the section that I call Multiple Areas Open World Alterations, there is Always Winter, the main mod that allows this snow overhaul to be possible. Always Winter tweaks the behavior of Skyrim's climates on Xbox by making so that snow or eventually rain drop quite often, and it also replaces most dirt textures with snow. Note that unfortunately this mod doesn't take care of the LOD, which will always display the terrain as it usually is in vanilla Skyrim. I searched as much as I could and unfortunately Always Winter is currently the best option available for this type of load order. I wanted to use a mod called Winter Overhaul, but it isn't available anymore on Xbox. Furthermore, another mod called Wintertime that I tested is very buggy, because it ruins certain stone textures and it leaves some untextured holes in the world's geometry, so until a better option comes up, we're stuck with Always Winter. Next there is RASS shaders and effects, to add effects on characters and on screen for many weathers such as snow and rain, but for this load order specifically, I strongly suggest to eliminate the effects on screen, considering that the snow and rain will often occur. You can do so as you're seeing in this clip. Finally, Display Enhancements XB1 allows you to modify many visual parameters of Skyrim Anniversary or Special Edition on Xbox One. So, just before its settings, remember this: once all the mods you chose to pick up are installed, wait for Skyrim to reset itself as it usually does when you install new mods, then close and reopen it to make sure all the mods are able to apply their code to the game. This is especially important for the grass mods. And finally, once you load your game or make a new save file, save the game, exit, load again, and you are now able to tweak display enhancements. I suggest to go into cinematic options and add contrast twice, brightness once, and remove saturation once. Did you enjoy your time with the video? Leave a like if so, and subscribe for more. Thank you for watching, have a nice day, and game on!